Oh, and we're live. That took a second. What's up, nerds? Welcome back to another episode 2 actually, of the Kayak Adventure series. Yeah, you heard. It's the KAS AAA show, as it's going to become known. The Kayak Adventure series, aggressively average combo show. We're doing this every other week. And the show's all about just getting you to the point where you can, 1, catch more fish, 2, catch bigger fish, and 3, potentially participate in either your first tournament or maybe one of your first 10, right? But if you want to get better at tournament fishing, this is the show for you. We're going to bring on awesome guests every single week. And we're talking about Kayak Adventure series. There's a bunch of events coming up. I'm going to go through them in a second. First, want to intro our guests. So we got Bailey Eigbrett here. Bailey, how you doing, man? You're fishing right now. You're in tournament prep mode. The next couple of days.
Hey. I was like, dude, the man's getting sun. That's rude.
We're gonna have these raccoon eyes till November. I wear it with pride. But yeah, we're fishing, man. We're down south and out of the terrible city of Buffalo. So I'm in where I'm supposed to be.
That's awesome. It actually it's going to hit 60 in Michigan this week, which is why it's fake. It's fake spring. It's a fake out. It's not real.
Our second one, though, that's important.
Right? Because then comes the third one, and then comes real spring.
Yeah.
We're getting there.
Today was 76 degrees. I was up on Watts Bar crappie fishing with the Sniper Marine guys, and I was laying on our buddy Trey's boat, and I laid in the back, and he's like, dude, what are you doing? Catch the fish. I'm like, just let me have this. Just let me have this. Let me take my nap. Let me take my little cat nap. And just be in
You can watch the vitamin D bar. Bloop, bloop, bloop,
photosynthesis.
Yep.
You got to get it, man.
Yeah, get it all. That's what I do at work. Whenever randomly the clouds part and there's a window nearby, I just stand up by the window and just soak it.
Yeah. We didn't get it in Florida. And Bassmaster in Florida, remember that? We went all the way to Florida, below Orlando, and it was still freezing in that cold front. And the fish felt it too.
I went down early thinking I'm gonna go fun fish around Florida before that tournament, and there was ice at the ramp at the lake. I wanted to go fun fish. The water was 41 degrees.
That's insane. And you can tell those fish are different species because they did not want anything to do with it.
Dude, it was illegal. They need to ban that crap down there.
Yeah, absolutely. Put a big wall, big net, giant that just blocks all the weather. This huge thing. It just keeps
you can't wall up the weather, Drew.
You can make. I saw Zona's post. They're making
indoor, absolutely can.
Indoor lakes and fisheries these days, like indoor snow skiing and snowboarding. They have indoor. They're making indoor lakes. Yeah. There's no way it was AI. There's no way.
Florida Superdome. Keep it all
Superdome.
Yeah, it's just everything is dome in Florida. Fish.
And when he says 41 degrees, that's super crazy because there are stories of inshore water in Florida getting up to 90 the last 5 years. You're talking about that is 50 some degree difference in water temp. That is insanity, complete insanity.
There was some reels going viral of just hundreds and hundreds of snook in these backwater canals all dead.
Yes,
it was crazy.
Too hot. Yeah, it's too hot and too cold. It's too wild.
Snook can't handle that cold for sure.
Good grief. All right. Well, let's intro the show. Let's get into it. We got Drew here as well. Drew, you want to talk to us about the Kayak Adventure series schedule real quick? What's coming up? Because we got an event in
sure
a couple weeks.
Yeah, man, it's coming up. So Tallahassee is in Tallahassee, Florida. Epic. You guys hopefully have watched the preview show about that. It's going to be really cool. Event with Lake Talcon being the headliner of all the lakes. There's a bunch of places in bounds, but go check it out. Next one, which surprisingly, I don't know if surprising, but it's the last event we announced, April 24th and 25th, the Great Midwest of Us 2, second one from last year's Ohio event. But that one, guys, already has more entries than I think the Florida event, right at it. It had it had more the other day, 20 something already. So you guys are getting those $100 sponsors gift bags. I'm pretty excited to see the entries going so early this year. Not that they haven't ever been early in the past, but that's just good momentum, guys. It helps everyone just kind of come together. And the more people we have, it's just a bigger payout, bigger fun, bigger party, bigger fellowship, bigger everything. And speaking of bigger, I will share my screen for one quick thing that I want to update you guys on because I did make this all today. Right here. This is the bonus. If you want to win in KS, this is the bonus programs and ways to win. Now, most of these you don't have to do anything, hardly anything for, right? Obviously, you got to film to win Unhooked by D Hooker. All we're doing is going to give somebody some money for losing a fish. That's it. We're gonna post this video.
I'm gonna be a pro at this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just film it.
Made for this.
Send us that video, and your pain could potentially be your gain. So that's kind of cool. We're trying to spread the money out, guys, at KS, so that obviously the winners are always going to profit and make a good bit of money. We know that. Mm-hmm. But if we can spread some money out, we're paying down to 25% of the field. The last 5% will just be gift cards and stuff and entry fees. But then other things like this, the Angler's Cut with GoPro, you guys can read all about this stuff here. The county bounty, literally just stay in the county. That's it. And when you register, you click where you stayed, and we know you were eligible. Just stay in the county that is hosting us, and you get $500. Omnia Fishing, Omnia Pro subscriber gets $300 in credit to Omnia. Of course, bonus bucks. We all know about that.
Yeah.
You got your cross kicks bonuses. We're going to give away literally about 60 or 70 pairs of cross kicks this year to whoever qualifies for those. And some of my graphics aren't looking great here. I got to fix this. But anyway, you see
couple spell errors there.
Yeah, little small stuff. I'm seeing some
Gar horse.
Yeah.
All those guys.
We're working on it, guys. We'll fix it.
Man, see, that's a definitely a good catch there. The typo on that.
I got you, dog.
I told you I did this today. Fast. You got
run it by my editorial desk. I got you.
Always a good idea to show stuff to the public for the first time on a live stream. Always.
Yeah.
But Day 2 Dark Horse, the bank bag cleanup from Avco, you get $25 gift card. So lots of easy ways to earn some extra money. And I'm excited about spreading the wealth down further in the field and just, letting it just rolling down, So, and then of course we come up with something new as well for Friday. Since we fish Friday afternoon, we're going to give $250 to whoever just is the leader after Friday. So Friday's leader, boom, extra $250 you can make. So, and I have a payout chart that I may or may not have on here, but if I do, I can pull it up. But I made a big payout chart as well, showing exactly that we're paying out 96 to 109% back in cash. So 96 to 109%. The bigger the field gets, it shrinks to like 98, 97, whatever. But it's nearly 100% or more, 109% if the field's smaller in cash. And then if you add the prizes like a raffle kayak for charity, it goes up to, I want to say it's like around 110, 120% or 220% payback in total value between cash and prizes. But usually it's around 150 to 220%. So it's all thanks to you guys for loving the trail and supporting it, and the sponsors just buying into what we're doing. They believe in it. So keep it up, guys. And maybe one day we'll get Bailey to one of these. I know he hadn't had a chance yet, but question.
Yes, question. Bailey.
When are you going to give away a Tundra? Asking for a friend.
A Tundra. Yeah. Well, dude, go see Mike D. Go see Mike D. Toyota of Kent. I know I heard about you had to, it sounds like a bunch of stuff went down with your boat. I heard this all. I didn't even see you in Florida at the check-in. I missed you there, but I heard a bunch of stuff happened to your truck with your boat or motor or something. I don't know, man. Jake was giving me the lowdown. Yeah. All the above. But if you go see Mike D at Toyota of Kent, I'm telling you, man, you'll get the best deal. You'll get $4,000 of value, including gift cards, all free KAS entry fees for a year. Like, it's a great deal, man. You're going to get obviously eligible for Toyota bonus bucks. I opened up a check from Toyota bonus bucks the other day just for buying a new truck. They gave me a check back. It covers like my first 3 payments on the thing, dude. It was like, all right, sweet. So it's a good deal, man. But yeah, I wish we could maybe we grow big enough, Bailey. One day we could have a Toyota would be the Angler of the Year prize. Maybe.
Guys, hear me out. I need 3,000 people at Tallahassee. Okay. Yeah. That's all we need.
That's it.
And then we can get Bailey a new truck.
This is Bailey's truck drive.
Sign up today.
You get a truck.
Last thing I mentioned, we do have some new merch on the website.
That's
the store,
actually pretty dope. I like that.
Go check it out. Yeah, it's cool. We got hats like this one, which promote a little unity, which our world needs, I guess, a little bit more of it this time.
I really can't tell if
we
we're
unite
together if I'm going to get punched by one of those reels.
You could get punched, but we unite over spinning reels. I love that. Everybody can fish spinning reel.
I love Bailey on this show because he's super positive and his positivity is infectious. You were actually on the original show when we announced this concept, right? I know, like Bailey, if you guys don't know Bailey, he's, hosts a Serious Angler podcast, one of the top level, like kayak anglers out there, just anglers in general, in my opinion. And then, he won Champlain last year. He's shaking his head, but it's true, man. I can be your PR guy. I can be your spokesman.
Drew's
it's unbelievable. You guys don't check out, if you don't know the Serious Angler Podcast Network, go hit subscribe now. And yeah, but what you really need, Bailey, is because you were unlucky at that last tournament. This is what you really need.
Oh,
The lucky
a
tournament
buzz
day.
bait. You need to get your kayak buzz bait.
Does it come with a buzz bait attached
with
to the drawers?
Your lucky tourney undies. This is what you need, Bailey.
Wow.
You need that. Go on the website, go in the store, get your lucky, get your
Shamrock
socks.
accent.
Get your socks.
Are you even trying if you're not wearing the lucky underwear? Like, what are you even doing?
Dude, I'm not putting pants on if I'm wearing that lucky underwear. I'm
Anyway,
fishing.
That's lucky outerwear.
Yeah.
These aren't lucky, Steve. These are just regular.
What? Drew, we didn't. We
You
should
give
talk
Drew
about
10
this before
minutes.
the show.
10 minutes, a little bit of freedom, and this is what you end
There
up
was
with.
no prep for
Kids
this.
are in bed. My kids are in bed. I don't know about anybody else's kids, but my kids are in bed.
These kids are not in bed.
Use your own adventure wisely. Okay. It's true.
Brother.
The
Anyway.
warning to
There's-
warn someone.
If you warn it, then you don't get the reaction. That's true. You can't warn somebody for that, man.
Oh my god!
Come on. But
It's
anyway,
between the buzz bait attached to the drawers and the choose your adventure wisely for me. I don't know.
Drew, you totally missed the opportunity to make a Senko joke with the underwear.
True.
but you know what? We
True.
can always add
change
new
it.
designs,
Yeah.
man.
We got time.
Our designs are fluid on the website. The good news is these are all print on demand, so we don't have to even carry inventory. We just go in there and change
Fluid.
designs whenever
Yeah.
we want. So Bailey,
Fix
if you
it
want
in
your
post.
signature series underwear to say Cinco whatever, dude, we can make it. We can make it.
Give me a Ned Rig one.
You have a big.
Just finesse.
I don't know if I should say this, but there actually is an option on there to personalize, like all the stuff that we make that people, the customers can then add more and
You
change it
have a
whenever they want.
7-inch
And they just print
Cinco
it.
in there. That I
Yeah.
can-
We didn't make it far.
Well,
we
there's
didn't
the
make
new
it far
thick
into the
stick.
show.
The new
Look,
thick stick
Last
from
time we
Z-Man.
couldn't get off the toilet. This time we
Or the-
can't get out of the potty room. It's not a great look.
No.
What about the mag fatties? The mag fatties. That's
the
a good bait.
mag fatty.
We're talking baits here, guys. But anyway,
What are those 12-inch worms that Strike
Oh,
King
man.
has?
yeah, they're 12-inch, but they're pretty thin.
Sure.
Mag fatties.
I don't know.
is-
Not the ones that I saw.
Get the meat, get the beef. All right,
They
I gotta stop talking.
Yeah, Drew. Just
Let's
took
talk
the
to
show
Bailey.
away.
But that's all
Let's
we got
talk
going
to
on
Bailey,
here. Let's
so-
talk to Bailey and you guys talk to him and get his input and how we can learn from him and his expertise. You guys all tuning in.
Oh.
I'm sure you'll learn a lot today. I may not be here for the whole show. We'll see, but
We're
yeah,
gonna have to kick you out. That's what
chat
we're
with this
gonna have
guy.
to do.
We're
So
gonna
we
hit
can get
four
down to
faces sonar,
business.
and Drew's gonna take a graceful exit stage left.
All right,
Pretty
well,
much.
let's get into it. That was an excellent intro, Drew. Thank you for catching us up on all the new apparel, especially. But yeah, we've got our special guest here, Bailey. So we want to first of all let's intro him. So Bailey, if you would, real quick, give us your 60-second infomercial of who you are for the folks at home.
Yeah, I'm a kayak angler, full-time content creator, podcast host, and I'm great at telling people what not to do with fishing. So you're going to be getting a lot of what not to do tonight. But
Love
otherwise,
that.
man, just ate up bass head. Excited to be here. Appreciate the invite, boys.
Heck yeah, we appreciate having you. I'm surprised we haven't had you on a AAA show
Agreed.
up until this point. That is wild to me. When we got you on this week, I was excited, and I was like, oh man, we've done like 260 episodes. Paul, how has Bailey not been on this friggin' show?
Probably for the
Seems
better.
criminal.
Your
Probably
views
for
are-
the. I mean, you see Drew's here, like first 10 minutes, Drew is like crashing the podcast. But no, this is gonna be a fun one. I'm excited because I think a lot of people are gonna learn a lot of stuff from you tonight. So yeah, let's dive in. Should we do it at Q of the D, Paul? Or we already warmed up enough?
I think we're warm. We're pretty saucy.
All right,
right now.
all right, fine. Let's get into it. Man. So, yeah, first things first. There's a lot of folks that are going to be watching this that either haven't done a tournament before or have done maybe a few. Right, like they're stepping into it, they're getting used to it. Bailey, how many tournaments have you done? If you had to guess, wild guess, shot in the dark.
200 something.
Sheesh. All right. So how did you get into it? Obviously, between 0 and 200 is a lot. It's 200 specifically. But how did you get into tournament fishing in the first place?
I think just being obviously ate up with it growing up. None of my family members were tournament fishermen or anything like that. I think just growing up and just seeing Bassmaster up on the weekends and seeing the reruns, when you dive into when you become a bass nerd and you want to learn more and more and more, and you start looking at all the archives and the history, obviously you're going to run into old Bassmaster reruns, FLWs. And so just seeing that and seeing Kevin Van Dam and Ike and all these guys, fishing these tournaments. Of course, as a young kid, you're idolizing these guys and you're like, how do I get into that? And I had no idea how to get involved in it until, started getting on social media a little bit. And I had one guy that, actually, how I got into tournaments, I learned from a local guy that there was a club that we could go fish. And it was team tournaments. And it was a buddy from high school, me and him from high school. And he was 16 at the time. I was 17. And he had the boat. And so his dad would actually, for our first tournament ever, would dropped us off in this little 25-horse tin rig with all these bass boats, and we were getting laughed at, and we did not know what we were doing.
Yeah,
we miraculously landed on like 22 pounds of fish, won the tournament, and thought we were Kevin Van Dam, and then the rest of the year got destroyed. But like it was just one where it's just kind of like you idolize it, and you just figure out. I mean, nowadays it's so much easier with social media and, more clubs on Facebook and things like that. But it was just one where I think it started from the Bill Dance thing, TV shows on Saturday mornings, and it kind of translated through seeing all the Bassmaster stuff and that whole trickle down effect. But
the bragging rights that come along with that, shows up $1,500 boat, destroys $50,000 boats.
Dude, the best part was like he had this little tin rig that was fun. Like we got into places that were pretty wild, and the live well was not big enough for those fish. They were those poor fish. I'm surprised they survived.
They're just bunched up.
Dude, we had like two over 6 in there that were just like sitting there, just like
upside down. Bro, sardines.
Let me out.
Yeah, like a stuffed elevator, and they're just stuck there all day long.
You're like one at a time now.
We showed up. We're like, man, I don't know about this one. This was fun, but like we probably got crushed. We show up, we win. We look at each other like, dude, this is sick. We won $300. Like, we're rich. We're gonna dominate this thing.
Are we the best? Yes.
We didn't even catch a limit the next tournament.
Reality slap to the face. Oh, that's awesome. But that's like a great example. I mean, I feel like folks they underestimate the availability of tournaments around them, and like there are so many just local derbies, like weekend warrior tournament opportunities that you can go to. It's low stakes. It's just for fun. There's a bunch of Michigan trails around us that just really cool dudes that literally just get together to hang out, and then like, sure, they put money on the line sometimes, but it's not that serious. It's just for fun. And I mean, that kind of brings me to my next point. Like, what do you feel like folks could get out of a tournament? If I've never done a tournament before, I'm looking outside perspective, looking in here. What would be like a benefit to me? I'm not in it looking to like drop in and win a bunch of money. I shouldn't probably expect that out the gate. But what other kind of benefits could I get?
Yeah, I think more so on the kayak side, the biggest thing that I have taken more from the kayak side than any other things, because I've done the co-angler stuff, I've done the team tournament stuff, is simply the camaraderie that you get out of it. I mean, people talk about that, and they genuinely mean it. That like my local trail, I mean, don't get me wrong, I love competition, but I more fish it just to hang out with that crew, just because it's such a good group of guys and girls that fish it. And I would say, I mean, that has turned into like literally me fishing my local circuit has created best friends that literally stood in my wedding. So it's like, it's stuff that, if you're looking for fishing buddies, that's a great way to get involved. But I'd also say too, finding that network within the tournament realm can also help you learn as an angler, especially if you have a good group of people in your circle that from fishing tournaments and you guys talk. That's a way you can bounce ideas off each other and learn from each other. Not that you can't do that outside of tournaments, but when you go to tournaments, you likely are going to run into more people that are hungry to learn and get better. And so when you have those like minds, it's, that just pushes you, and it's like you just immerse in your surrounding. And I think that's the biggest two things that come out of tournaments. And of course, obviously, if you do well, a nice check is pretty cool too. But otherwise, I think those are the two big things, and that's stuff that sticks with you for life.
You ever
Isn't it good though at those when you stay with people, the camaraderie at the houses and stuff, and these trails, whether it's a local derby, and you're talking about it, but really these national ones when you're traveling like a KS or a Bassmaster, it is cool when you like hang out with some people and you kind of realize that we're all basically human. We're all like, we all struggle out there in practice, but it's not like it's easy because you see the guys that win and it takes them a lot of practice days sometimes. Maybe they stumble up on the pattern during the tournament and you just think these guys are invincible, but no, like even as much as, successes like Bailey's had and I've had and other people, you'll hear it from all the pros. Like dude, fishing is hard, even for us, for anybody, it's hard, but that makes anybody out there watching that's in that beginner, up and coming, intermediate phase, at least feel like, okay, I'm not alone. Those guys, it's hard. They struggle too. So I shouldn't be discouraged. So when you're around those people and you get those stories after practice, especially even or during the tournament or after it, it does make you realize like, hey, I'm not alone. I'm going to stick with this, keep going. And it makes those great days, special because you know how hard and rare they are.
And I think people kind of like overestimate how good everyone is that goes to a tournament. I think when you show up, you're like, you kind of assume like, well, everyone here is better than me for sure. I'm the worst. And then then you go through and you're like, well, I caught a limit, caught 7 fish today. And you're like, wow, 18th, I'm middle of the pack. Like, how'd I get here? And it kind of is surprising. Like, and it's not to say that like the people that go aren't good, like the people that go are very good. But when I think, like I said, just people just kind of overestimate like how good the field's going to be and maybe underestimate your own abilities when you get in there. And when you're mixing it up and you got most of a full day, if you can put 5 fish together, like you should be in the mix. Like you're somewhere, you're not nowhere. You're not going to be way at the bottom. And I think it's very gratifying. Like when you go through a good day, maybe you catch 15 fish and you're like, man, I called like 10, 12 times today. Like that was a freaking good day. Like I had a decent day. And you actually end up seeing that a lot more. And I think I've encouraged a lot of people to go try it. I always remind of like a bowling league. Like my brother's in a bowling league, and when he comes out to bowl with us, I'm always like, he is 1,000 times better than me. 1,000 times. It's like, that is actually how much better he is. He doesn't have to try. And I'm like, he doesn't even bowl that much. I'm like, dude, he is way, way better than me. And I think fishing's the same way. It's like, the more you fish, the better you'll get. And like, even if you're just making yourself go more often by being in a league, dude, there's no way you're not going to get better. It's going to rub off. Like it's going to happen.
Yeah, I think there's a speed to learning there too. Like the learning curve, it picks up when you like start doing tournaments versus if you're doing it on your own, you're the only one out there. Like it's you versus you. Yeah, there's no pressure. There's no reason to try new things, do different stuff, go to different spots. You go to those same comfort spots on your favorite lake. So you're like, keep hitting the same lake, keep hitting the same spots on the same lake, keep throwing the same lures, and surprise, surprise, you don't learn anything, right? But if you go to these tournaments, it forces you out of your comfort zone. You go to a new body of water. You go to like a kayak adventure series. You've got like 20 bodies of water you can pick. You have to go explore something new and different. So you get to those new spots. And then like Bailey was saying, you get to talk to those folks, make some new friends, learn some things fast. And I think that's the benefit. Like we're not here advocating for you guys to do 100 tournaments a year or get to 200 like Bailey's at right now. But imagine if you just did 2 a year. Like that's what Paul and I essentially do. We do like 2 a year. We just get out there, meet a bunch of folks, learn some things, challenge ourselves, have fun, go home. And also eat all the beef sticks that exist on the planet,
Show me the breakfast sandwiches.
Take breakfast sandwiches to go. Like that is what we do. It's a blast. Oh, those right there.
Always come ready, man, with props. New primals. They're sponsored, dude. This is the KS show. They are a sponsor. New Primal is a great brand of meat stick. Go check them out.
I'm gonna make a monster dent in their donation pile of meat sticks when I.
How do we get like a Dr.
Yeah, you get one in your gift bag. You guys will get one. Well, I'm working on that, man. One day, we'll see.
The Dr. Pepper.
As soon as 3,000 people sign up for Tallahassee to pay for Bailey's truck, we will then get Dr. Pepper's.
Need I say more? First things first, we need a Tundi for our boy Bailey. So let's get that going immediately. All right, 3,000 people sign up Tallahassee, we win. That's all we got to do. That's it.
Easy.
If everybody puts in $1 right now, like we can make this happen. Potentially. Which by the way, before we go into anything else, I do want to hear what happened to the truck. And I mean, if anybody missed it, I feel like that's a story that needs
part
to
of the lore at this point.
Yeah, let's explore some lore with Bailey, if you will.
Mike Dobson's in the chat, by the way. I saw him from Toyota of Kent. He said, "Get a Toyota." So
you heard the man.
We're trying. Send it over.
You know, I'd forgotten about the truck, but now my PTSD is back. So yeah, I guess we'll talk about it.
Thanks for that.
I didn't bring it up first. Drew brought it up first. All right?
Yeah.
I'm just exploring the lore, as it were.
Look at the adventures you guys can have traveling to these tournaments. It's great. Your trucks break down. We're really promoting the sport, traveling to these national events.
We do 200 tournaments. You drive a lot, right?
Yeah,
like that truck has been through some stuff.
Yeah, that truck had 83,000 miles on it in 2.5 years. That was pretty good.
I've been there. It sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically, long story short, not to draw it out too much, I before I left for the that Florida tournament, I went to go get all brand new tires on my truck after I literally the week before just replaced all brakes, everything, like got the truck ready for the long season. I always do the big refresh in the winter just to make sure everything's good. And go to start my truck to go get all brand new tires 3 days before I leave, and a check engine light comes on and it wasn't flashing. So I'm like, all right, I'll get it scanned. Hopefully it's something small. Go get it scanned. They said, yeah, it's just your shutters. They're stuck open, like the shutters that open on your grill of your truck so that air can get in to allow the motor to cool. They're stuck open. And they're like, it's better than being stuck closed. So they're like, yeah, you're fine. And I'm like, I told them, I'm like in their face, like, I'm driving to Florida and back. Am I good? And they're like, yeah, you're fine. I was like, okay. And I drive all the way down to Tennessee, and I pull over to go get food, and I get out of my truck and it's still running, and all I hear is knock, 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 knock. And I'm like, you gotta be joking me right now. And so I call Louis Delgado, North Georgia fisherman, and because I was staying at his place that night.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, is there a Ram dealership next to you? Because I need to call them now. And thankfully got in like an emergency appointment that next morning. So I got to Louis and I get out and he looks at me. He's like, dude, that sounds terrible. And I go to the dealership in the morning and dude, I pull into the service and the guy doesn't even say hello to me. And he just looks at me and goes, oh, that's bad. And I'm like, I'm like sitting here panicking. I'm like,
thanks, bro.
Yeah. I'm like, okay.
The worst thing to say.
Right.
I know. I'm like, just get this thing in. Just tell me what the verdict is.
That's like when you go to the hospital and the doctor's like, ooh, that's not good.
Knife in the shoulder.
Like,
that's
what,
bad.
What are you doing? Your bedside is fast. What are you doing?
That's why I'm here.
Pulling the ER and he's like,
oh shit, got him.
Take my bad.
But they
I'm going on break.
Make it.
They ended up rescanning the truck and they're like, yeah, so like the shutter thing came back, but the problem is your shutters are gone. There is no shutters left. I was like, how does that happen? Yeah. And they're like, but the problem is that we have a engine motor failure that comes up. And I'm like,
oh god,
good. Sounds cheap.
That'll be 10 grand. Thanks.
Yeah. So this is where it gets started. I'm like, okay, so like, what are my options here? And they're like, which is so cool. This is the awesome part about social media is one of the technicians watched my YouTube channel. And so they decided to help me out a little bit. And they broke open a little bit into the motor to try to like test and see what the actual problem was without charging me, which is super nice because that wouldn't have been cheap. Yeah. And basically came back to me and he's like, long story short is you have two options. And that is one, you might have to get a rental truck if you're trying to get to Florida. He goes, two, if you want us to fix this, you're going to need to leave this truck in Georgia for 2 months and it might be 15 to 30 grand.
What the?
That's the cost of my truck. I have a
What
Ram
kind of
too.
option
Mine
is that? How is that an option?
I'm sitting there, I'm like, that.
Okay.
I'm looking at him like, did 15? I'm like computing the number. I'm like, what? Like that's
how in the world?
More than what the truck is worth right now.
Yep.
And
Right.
I ended up making some calls and stuff. I'm just sitting there like, I don't know what the hell to do. I'm stranded here. I was talking to Louis. I'm like, dude, I'm not taking a damn rental truck to Florida.
Right.
And they're like, well, you could keep driving it, but they're like, it's a ticking time bomb. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not getting stuck in backwards Florida with
this place is the metaphors. What are we doing?
Yeah. And so
do what you want.
Yeah. Thankfully, I only had like 10 grand left to pay off on the truck.
Yeah.
And I'm just sitting there like, I was talking to my wife and she was full support. She's like, just do what you feel like you need to do. And she's like,
yeah.
I'll walk over. I'm like, all right, what else you got in the lot? Because I'm not taking this damn piece of crap home. And ended up buying a brand new Ram. And in hindsight,
they all high-fived in the back room. They said, sucker, he believed us.
We told him he was going to die.
It's probably that freaking reel you see of these diesel mechanic guys messing with each other. One guy's under the motor with a hammer going like, knock, knock, knock.
Dude, that's awful.
Yeah, but
what?
It sucks. I would have loved to have shopped around a little bit, but like every brand new truck has so many problems. Like I'm seeing just cautions. I mean, Ford will never go forward. My buddy went through 2 transmissions within 30,000 miles on a 2024 F-150. Chevy's having a bunch of problems. Toyota has a motor recall already on the brand new Tundras. And I'm just like, the problem is, here's the problem. And this is actually a shout out to Toyota because the old Tundras are freaking badass. And I was the week before I left, I was window shopping for a 2017 Tundra. And so my truck said, hold my beer. You're not getting rid of me that easy.
You're staying praying, buddy. Oh,
yeah.
No.
Yeah. I found this perfect 2017 Tundra, had 40,000 miles on it.
Oh, wow.
For $48,000 in Ohio. And I was like,
that's great.
I was like, save it for me. I'm coming back.
No,
they never made it back.
Never made it back.
Yeah.
Dang. That's crazy because I've had 2 Rams. My first one had 200 and I got rid of it. And I actually made $8,000 on that truck, which is crazy. And then the one I've got right now has 110 and never had a problem.
You need to knock on wood right
now.
now.
You shouldn't have said that.
Well, I already know.
We're driving to the classic, you fool.
I already know that my run with Rams is done based on like quality from that brand. But like, I had a roll, dude. I've had a roll.
But anything post 2019 is going to be
and actually it's so funny you say that. So I looked at right before I hit 100,000, and it sucks because the used car market was trash right when I was looking. But I actually was shopping I wanted to get a 22 Tundra was the one that I wanted. And that's probably what I'll do for my next one is I'll get a 4-year-old, the 2 gens prior. That's exactly what I'm going to do.
We're all getting Tundies because
3,000
people
that's
are going to Tallahassee.
I want to ride mine out to 185. Like if I get mine to just shy of 2, then I'll roll it.
Well, see, we don't tow bass boats, so I've never really considered the Tundra too much, other than it does have a little bit better, like obviously back seat room for the kids. Yeah, but they fit, and the Tacoma is fine. But like I'm always like, I want the better gas mileage. I don't need that big of a truck. You know what I mean? It was like Tacoma's been awesome. I love this new one I've got. It's been great.
I haul like waterlogged trees out of our lake for firewood, and I'll have like
a hammy,
a 30-foot strap and a 20-foot like tow chain, and we'll drag like 40-50-foot trees out of the Lake St. Clair, like right up onto the beach. Saw them up, fill my truck up to the very tippy top, and then make runs and then saw it up, and that's what we use for firewood. So like I do that year round, dude. It's nice having the full size being just the weight alone. It's worth it.
Sounds like you're taking structure out of the lake to me, but dude,
that stuff all rolling up, bro. And plus, there's Jeff.
It rolls ashore.
I see. It's not the sunken trees.
No, we have a cove.
No.
It's all trees that roll up onto the.
It's not.
We have like a big sandbar, and they all roll up onto the sandbar, and then I just drag them out of the.
Paul's wrecking Lake.
Plus, how am I going to launch my kayak if they're all in the way? What are we doing here? I've been doing that for 12 years now.
Wow. All right. Well, let's get back to fishing, y'all.
I have one last piece of story if you like it. This is to anybody that wants to get a Ram. Let this be your deterrent. I drove it off the lot and it was perfect. Great. Mm-hmm. I start the truck the next day. The screen turns on. I connect my CarPlay because we're about to leave for Florida. The screen starts flickering, shuts off, hasn't turned on since, and I now need a brand new radio and screen on a truck wasn't even a week old.
What year is yours?
2026.
See,
there's your problem.
That's the problem right there.
Yeah,
dude, I feel so bad for you. There's nothing in this world. I mean, it really, 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 really sucks to get a brand new vehicle and be like, and and have stuff start going wrong. Like,
Yeah.
because you kind of know, you kind of get
like,
that sense for a vehicle. Like you get the vibe of the vehicle. It doesn't matter what it is, any vehicle,
Right.
and you're like, this something's not right. And that's why, like, when my wife needed a new car, I was like, you're getting a Honda, you can get the Mazda CX series, or you can go Toyota. Those are your 3 options. Sorry, I love you, but that's what you get. What you get. Like, that's what I will trust. Everything else, no way, not happening.
You know, to wrap the truck discussion up, I will say this: when people see Toyota, a lot of people they're like, oh well, it's these other are less expensive, and the Toyota is more expensive, and obviously it's because it's part of the reputation, right? It's a good product, right? First of all, but second of all, when you get better gas mileage, I did the math, right? Did all the math when I was getting a new truck. If you get 3-4 better gas miles per gallon, right? Yeah. That's why I like the new 4-cylinder. It has more torque than the V6, so that's all just numbers. Everyone just wants a knock on it for being a 4-cylinder. It's actually more powerful than the one I had that was a V6 at my 2013 that had 250K on it that I sold to get this one. So my point is, like, it adds up. If you run 150,000 miles and you're getting 2-3 miles per gallon better on the highway, which the new engines kind of do, it's $5,000 over 150,000 miles you spend over your lifetime. So you save that, first of all. Second thing is on a Toyota, well, not just the bonus bucks. That'd be the second thing. You get that if you're a fisherman, but if you're a tournament angler. But the next biggest thing is the fact that when you go to sell it, I sold my 250,000 beat up. Everyone on this stream knows it was put through the Drew's paces, right? The stuff I put it through. Yeah. And the guy knew, because he was a kayak angler. I sold it to someone I knew. So I trust the truck that much, and met him in West Virginia. He's from North Carolina, and he bought it. I think I sold to him for around 8,000. I could have sold it for 10, and it had 250,000 miles on it. Dented, beat up like crazy, just worn out, but never had one problem with it ever. And that's going to run for another 250,000. So the depreciation on other brands is a little bit stronger. So one day you're going to have to go sell that or trade it in. So you're getting more value out of the Toyota for all these other reasons that still is real money. It still is. So anyway, this
you pay for it up front, but you get it on the back end.
Yeah, exactly. You pay for a little bit up front, but over time 100%. You do. Yeah.
I love that we dumped our Dodge. Our Ram sponsorship is out the window.
We had a shot. We blew it.
No, not true. One time you were bashing GoPros, and I contacted GoPro and showed them the clip, and they said, "We're going to win these guys back over because Ram, because
it's crazy.
When it's back over."
It's crazy. The Ram proving grounds are literally 10 minutes from my house. I can literally go drive down there and be like, "You forgot to test the screens, and what the hell's shutter? Why don't I have one?"
They can send us 4 of those right now.
Just, you're telling me I don't need it. Why don't you just take it out? What are we doing here?
Maybe we'll change our minds. All right. That's enough about truck stuff. Let's get into fishing stuff. So let's switch rigs. We'll go from the truck to the kayak. So Bailey, for everybody here, we're talking about kayak tournaments today. What's the kayak that you're running? What's the daily driver, as it were?
I have a Hobie Pro Angler 14.
Is it the 180 drive or 360 drive?
360.
Is it the XR or regular?
It is the XR, unfortunately.
Unfortunately. I think either way is kind of unfortunately, but what's your issues with the XR?
So the rig itself, I love it. The 2025 models, there's just an issue with, you can't run a motor with your pedal drive in because then it leaks through the steering tube, and it is obnoxious. Otherwise it's great. But
naturally, why wouldn't it leak through the steering tube? Of course. I was like, I have an idea.
The new
the perk is just fills with water. It's fun. I love it.
Yeah.
Gosh. All right. What sort of bells and whistles you running on that? What kind of graphs? Forward facing sonar, what's your go-to? Drew just freezes.
Takes a nap.
So I have a motor on the back. I got a Newport MK180. I have one Explore 10, a Humminbird Explore 10, and then I have a sniper pole on the side with Mega Live 2, and then Amped Outdoors lithiums in it, and that's it. I dumbed it down compared to years past rigs.
I love it.
Yeah, no disco ball, no lights all over the place.
I got lights. There is a little bit of a disco in the morning, but nothing crazy. It's all just red lights, and it's kind of like Star Wars looking. It's pretty
fun.
Let's
nice.
Go.
You're Sith. You're a Sith Lord. I love it. That's sick.
I'm a fan of the scope. It keeps people off of my stuff. I'm a fan. So
I'm a fan of the scope.
Yeah, run it
this way.
Out of my area. You guys stay out there in the open.
I'm gonna come follow you in your area with scope and just follow you.
Scoping around
perspective mode. perspective.
Drew,
mode,
there's
just
some
be
under your
like, "Yep."
kayak.
He's gonna go right
Drew,
behind me
I'm
and
gonna
see the
catch it.
fish that I missed. Everything I missed, he's gonna throw at me like, "Yep, you didn't see that one. You didn't see that
Just
one."
ripping
Oh,
lips around
man.
you. I love that. That's so dirty.
All
All right.
So how you've been into Hobie for how long now, though?
5 years.
Yeah. So what drew you over there? Because I'm curious. Like I'm always, I think I would guess the answer. I'm just curious what for you, like what keeps you in that rig versus others? Because you can go Drew's route where it's the super shallow, super light. You know, Drew's running, the big motor and basically all batteries, right? and then tackle. But like you went the other route. Like tell us why? Because I think it's important.
I mean, from the kayak standpoint, what got me in it to begin with was just I don't think there's anything on the market that compares to it from a usability, and it's that 360 drive. That's the only thing that keeps me there. Is you can't beat the 360 drive. It's for fishing shallow, especially fishing around heavier, like you're around cypress trees, or you're like literally this week on Gunnersville. I was with Alex Rudd and. He didn't have all he had is the motor. He had I think it's the RVR or PWR. I can't remember.
Yep.
Yep. He only had a motor, and we're in like less than a foot of water in grass, and I'm just fluttering through it just fine. And he's burning them to the motor trying to get through, and it's like it just excels in fishing shallow water. And then on the flip side, for my techie people, it dominates when it comes to scoping too. It's just way easier to stay on fish and be more accurate, especially when you have wind come into play. Yeah. Now, Drew's a cheat code in shallow water with the paddle. That's the Excalibur. That's totally different. But like for the common folk, just from wanting to be efficient up shallow, you can't beat that 360 drive.
No. Do you use that drive, Bailey, with a motor? Do you use the motor and the drive together in conjunction to hold you on the spot when you're scoping?
No, not because I have the rear mounted one and I could get foot steering to try to counteract that. But
gotcha. You have the rear mounted. Gotcha.
Motor gets me to where I want to go, and everything else is pedal power.
Hold with that's cool.
Yeah, I mean, we've always said that, Paul. It's like you can't beat the 360 drive asterisk when it works.
When it runs.
when it works, man. Yeah. So we destroyed both of ours. Like absolutely basically had your RAM experience, but with Hobies.
I've had the same experience. Yeah, when it works, it's great.
Well, I've had where you're going like you're just shaking it and you're just watching all the pins just drop out like rain all over my front lawn. I'm like, radical.
Yeah,
those bearings, and it's impossible to put them back in.
But that's exactly what we said. Like when it's working, and it does. I mean, we got years of heavy, just brutal use out of it.
Yeah,
but it does have shelf life. That one for sure. But when it's working, it's elite. There really is nothing else like it. And dude, when you're in the river and you want to retrieve a lure.
It's a joke. It's a joke that a 14-foot
under it at the right angle,
the river.
Stand up, grab it, sit down. Like, and I will say, if you like standing, like if that's important to you with stability, I'm not sure that there's a roomier, better layout. Still to this day, like it is. The Titan X is like close. The new canoe is very good, but once you sit in a Hobie, it kind of let 360. It is the king when it comes to interior. It's the ultimate Cadillac. I mean, it's the Escalade. It's crazy.
Yeah, I still think if it wasn't for some of the durability issues on some of the 360 drives, because I've had one drive right now that I've had for over 3 years and been perfectly fine. I don't even grease it at all. Like I don't take care of it as supposed to.
It doesn't knock or anything. It doesn't knock or anything.
No, it's perfectly fine. But I've gone through a couple drives prior to that. But dude, I think honestly, if you were able to put 360 into an Outback and it was durable, that'd be the greatest kayak ever made.
Oh yeah, we've always wanted the Outback. Yeah, dude, it's a great kayak. Like 100%, that is a kayak I definitely want.
It needs a higher seat though too. The Outback needs it needs a lift on the seat. If you put a lift on the seat and you had the 360, that's the most flexible by far.
Dude, I saw the greatest thing I've ever seen on an Outback. This guy, I can't remember his name. He fished locally. But he put like when you see like an old person walking with the walker, he put a seat on a old person's walker and rigged it to his kayak on his Outback, and he sat on that.
What a legend!
Yeah, it was incredible.
That's sick.
Ridiculous.
That's scoping. It's just up on his scope perch.
I've got a polling platform that's the exact same thing. It's basically a walker. I have it, and I used it back in the Jackson Kayak SUP. I still have it up in my garage. If you want one, Bailey, for your rig, I could sell it to you, man, real cheap. But anyway, it's sitting up there.
Does it have the
It's
tennis
literally-
balls on the bottom too for it?
Yeah, right.
Oh, it's got it. It's got it.
They all come with that.
It's
Duh.
like 30, it's like 28, 30 inches tall. And it's got the white standing platform. I've been waiting to figure out somewhere to put it and use it, but just
There you
never
go.
have. Since
We got the
then, but I
legend
still
Scott
don't know.
Butcher in the house.
I do. Speaking of, yeah.
Yeah,
there
Drew,
he
did
is.
you call us throw the swap? He said, we'll be awesome to see what Hobie does with new ownership.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's gonna be awesome. I'm interested to see what happens. It's a big change, and I guess whenever big money gets involved, I get a little nervous. So we'll see what happens.
Well-
I'm always hopeful for good things. Truly, I am, because while like we got Scott in the house, I've loved every Crescent I've ever had. I've never been upset with one. Get a walker for dirt cheap at the yard sale,
True.
or
At an estate sale.
oh, no. Okay. Yeah, I've loved it. A lot of tons of different kayaks that I've been in,
Yeah.
and I've never been mad at a Hobie either. And like, I want to see. There's no kayak brand I want to see not be successful. It's good for all of us when they're all doing well.
Yeah.
And like, we all lose when we lose that Hobie ingenuity. Like, there is still nothing like a 360 drive. We all lose when that's not out there. When people aren't doing the links and all that other stuff, we need to see that, dude. And it's Steel with Pride, right? 3 years down the line, we all want that. We all want to see the ingenuity. So, yeah, man, I hope for the best. And, hey, maybe when it's the Ascend line, maybe Ascends I'll be making recommendations, because I've never been able to do it, and I'd love to be like,
The
you
Hobie
too
Ascend.
should go get an Ascend someday. I don't know.
I've never once said that ever, but maybe I change my mind.
You never know.
I will though shout out your setup, Bailey, because what you've done is the best way to fish shallow is with a rear mounted motor, not a front, right? Not a bow mount. And if you want to go up rivers and creeks, you obviously want that rear motor. That's why I use a Torqeedo.
Yeah.
But the problem is you don't have a spot lock. But what you've done is you're pretty much telling everyone, I've got the best thing for shallow when I need to go shallow, and then I use that 360 drive and use obviously the drive to keep you stationary for scoping. So you're still able to do that, which is why most people have the bow mounts. They really, are focusing on the scope with the bow mounts electronics or in main lake stuff. So you really do have a really unique setup. It's kind of why I switched. I even saw what Guillermo did with that. The only downside to the Torqeedos and Newports really is you just can't really stand very well and fish, because you're always having to sit down and move them with your feet. But when I saw that New Canoe, shout out New Canoe, they had a hand steering lever, and Guillermo, I'd seen him using it with his PVC pipe that he puts over it so he can stand. And I got the same thing. I got a broken Bending Branches paddle, the super lightweight carbon, fiber, or graphite or whatever, super light, and it was just put on there, and it's awesome. So I can still stand, use the Torqeedo and sight fish. And then of course, it's kind of the best of both worlds, but yeah, that's a cool setup, Bailey. I like that.
How much would you guys pay? And I've mentioned this to the Newport team many times. How much would you pay for the Spotlock remote for a Newport?
$14.
Dude, a Bluetooth remote on a Newport, I would pay.
Oh yeah, it would be.
We've been asking for it, man. That would be so sick.
Imagine also being able to push button your speed too by percentage.
Which now that Garmin's done that, right? Like somebody else is gonna have to do that, but I don't know if it'll be a year, 2
Garmin's
years, 3
remote
years
is
down the line.
insane. If you guys haven't seen the Garmin Force,
you mean the Wii remote?
It is the
point where I want to go.
It is the crazy. Like, no one talks about the remote enough. It is wild what they've done. Literally, hold a button, point, motor turns you.
Nobody talks about it because nobody can afford it. That's the problem. But
wants to afford it. It's still insane. Like, Scott was talking about it. Like that leap forward. Now everyone goes, we can do it. It can be done. Maybe now I'll add it, because I'm telling you, that will be the biggest thing ever.
The only issue I have with that feature is, knowing me, I'll be buzzing and I'll hear a blow up and I'm like, and then I get thrown out of the kayak.
Yes.
Hey,
especially with the magic wand remote, you're just like
eating yourself into the lake. It's a rite of passage. I do it a couple times annually, so it is what it is.
You've done it. You've done it.
No, I do it a couple times every year. Yeah, no, for sure. If you're not pushing the limits, what are you even doing?
Yeah, I'm lucky I've never been thrown out. But I will say this is a good time to bring up, since this is a KAS AAA show. I've flown out of the kayak before, whitewater, but I don't know how I've never been thrown out. I've been standing on top of that platform I was just telling you guys out. My motor goes.
I've never even been thrown out 16 feet above the kayak when I was standing on a ladder. But hey,
no big deal.
Whatever, dude. But I have flown out many times whitewater kayaking. But I'll say this. That is the cool thing, speaking of motors and how expensive it is, about the KS format, is that you can put in kind of wherever you want that's public. You could use a paddle, 3 rods, and a tackle box, float down some creek, and it kind of balances out how good scope and the electronics are with those guys. And it's a nice little battle between, let's see what can happen between those two styles. And it still lets people fish the events if they don't have the means, to buy all the great stuff we're talking about here. The Hobie, it's not cheap. You know what I mean? The motor, the batteries it takes to run these motors. So at least KS, we have a little format going that helps get people into the sport. If you want to keep pushing on further into the Bassmaster stuff that Bailey and I do, awesome. Go for it. That's kind of what this KS trail is for, to get people kind of started in this thing without spending too much on entry fees or their gear and setup.
And I think that's a good point.
It's really cost prohibitive for a lot of people. I think a lot of people are deterred from tournaments. And I hear it all the time in comments, and Bailey, I'm sure you hear it when you go to tournaments even, because they'll look at those sick rigs that are 15 to 20K, and they're like, oh, you got to have one of those if you want a shot at winning. And that's not necessarily true. It definitely helps. It definitely helps. But you can still go to a tournament. You can still learn a lot. You can still make some friends. You can still catch a ton of fish. And who knows? Maybe it's like you drop in your tin rig with 25 horsepower motor and you beat the crap out of some bass boats. It could happen.
I got looked by a lot of guys paddling. Okay, it happens all the time.
Somebody in a sun dolphin rolls by you and they catch a bigger fish than you. It could happen, man. It could happen.
That was one of the biggest reasons why I dialed down my setup, was because I was looking at where we're going in this sport. And it's like, one, I feel like as a content creator, in the kayak fishing space, I'm not doing any justice to the future of our sport by running a 13-inch graph up front, a 10-inch graph on this side, going insane on all the different bells and whistles. And it's like, is it cool? Is it great when you have it? Yes. But what is that telling the person that's trying to get into the sport? Exactly what you just hit on. It's not setting the great example. I know Christine's doing that as well. So trying to help turn the tide on, I'll shout out right now, FluxJet. They're actually bringing some sort of innovation where I feel like the kayaks themselves were still stalling when it comes to, one, solving the problems that these current ones already have, but then two, actual innovation into the boats themselves beyond just going towards chasing a bass boat. Because if you ask me, if you can only use a kayak with motor power, you can barely paddle the damn thing and there's no pedals, but you have to have a motor, that's not a kayak to me. We're going the wrong direction. You know what I mean? What are we teaching the people that are trying to get into it? And the reality is, a lot of times people like Drew's very minimalist, but even just the random Joe Schmo that hops into a tournament with a paddle and a wacky rig Senko. Yeah. I see those people win all the time. You don't need much to do well. And so it's the optics of it. It's what are we teaching the sport, and how are we helping the progression of it?
No, 100%. And we've run the big rigs. Paul and I backed off a couple of years ago. So we had the Pro Angler 14s. Not that they were totally decked out, but we wanted to start expanding our horizons and trying a bunch of different kayaks. But I'd say the best example was for the Kayak Angler magazine Yak Offs this year. I rigged out an Old Town EPDL with the 2 screens. One screen's a 12-inch. I went all out on this thing, which is not how I normally rig my kayaks. And I was like, hey, what happens if you do every bell and every whistle? And that's what I did on that kayak. And I to be honest, I didn't like it. I didn't like that. It was too many things going on. There was too much hooked into my yak power system that it couldn't regulate the voltage, so everything was beeping at all times, and all the lights were flashing and stuff because the batteries couldn't handle it, man. So after having done that, I'm like, I don't want to ever do that again. I want kayaks. I like having a screen there, but one screen's fine. I love my Garmin 93 SV. It's fantastic. It's super lightweight. It's definitely big enough for my terrible eyes so I can see everything that I need to see. And then I may or may not run my live scope from time to time, but just having all those things was so much more of a hassle. The kayak's, one, way heavier. Two, I have to remember 4 batteries and all this extra stuff that doesn't help me catch fish. And then setting up and getting to go off the ramp, it takes longer. So it got frustrating. I'm with you, man. I like your simple setup, and it sounds like you probably put that together in 5-7 minutes and you're on the water and you're going.
I'd like to say that I put it together, but I'm the worst person at rigging anything. So thankfully, I have people at Morgan Marine in New York that do it all for me because they're the wizards.
Nice.
But there's something way more fun about such a simple setup. Like Gunnersville the other day, granted, I had a motor on the kayak, but I had a black pack with one tackle box in it with swim jigs and chatterbaits in it, 2 rods. That was it. That is when I'm happiest, dude.
Yeah.
I've literally been saying that for the last 3 years. And like, look at the dude that won the Kayak Angler Mag Yak off this year. I mean, that guy's rig was literally a throw and go.
Such a dweeb.
Throw and go. Yeah, it was just the
like,
Crescent Smalley. That's a question right here from Throw and Go.
Force current.
For you, Bailey, they're asking why. You had 2 questions. Why don't you compete in a throw and go or a river runner? And then Scott Butcher's asking, how often do you fish without a screen? So you can take those kind of together or whatever.
Yeah. Honestly, when it comes to the screen stuff, majority of my fun fishing is leaving the graph at home. Late summer, I'll do it just because that's, the time in the north when a lot of fish are very nomadic, and that's when, live sonar shines. But in the spring and in the late fall, like there's a lot of times I'm leaving the graph and the electronics at home because you don't need it. They're all shallow and it's just more fun that way anyway. But when it comes to the throw and go, we don't have, like in New York, we just don't really have too many of the rivers and creeks to really get into. Like in the creeks we do have, they're so shallow where you can't really you might as well just wait it, which I do. It's, and when it comes to that, like my style, and Drew knows this, like my style of where I'm confident a throw and go and type of deal is not going to be advantageous for me. Whereas like the PAs fits my style. Like I'm an offshore guy.
Yeah.
Like that is
exactly.
I've been that way before I had live sonar. I've always been an offshore guy. And that's where the PA shines.
I'll say this for Bailey too. The one thing, and to this guy's question, is Bailey's smart. I'll say that's why he doesn't fish in a throw and go or a river runner, because he knows the majority of people don't know how to find fish offshore. So the best way, and he's fishing tournaments here, guys, tournaments that have big, purses and pretty decent entry fees. So you want to use what you think, the strategy you think is going to be able to win. And he knows that most people can't find that stuff. And the majority of people in tournaments and not still do just beat the banks. That's just, every, weekend angler. Comfort. So there's more pressure on those areas. So if you're trying to win a tournament, I think he's just being smart. And that you kind of answered Scott's question too. How often you fish without a screen? Well, when they're up shallow in the spring. So tell us about Chickamauga and Nickajack. What's your strategy there, buddy? No, just kidding. Well, we can talk later, but it's going to be a fun tournament, man. It'll be interesting. Yeah, we don't want to.
I'll tell you, go down a rabbit hole. Practice starts tomorrow. My first strategy is to not go to Nickajack and Chickamauga and go fun fish a river with Rudd.
Yeah,
there's my strategy.
Great idea. I love that for you.
You'll be all right. I don't get there till maybe Sunday, so we'll see. We'll figure it out. Wing it. It should be fun though. Fun.
We'll wing it. We'll just wing it.
Wing it.
That's how I practice for all of my tournaments as well.
That's 100% what
Drew just shows up. He doesn't know practice. He just shows
up.
Yeah, but he wins, and I finished like 58.
Yeah, we do the same thing. It doesn't work, man. It doesn't translate.
I don't know what I did wrong there.
But once you kind of understand like the fish, you can literally do that. You have to obviously have the number of days in the water. Bailey said 200 tournaments. I know I've fished probably 75, 80 kayak tournaments. But once you do it enough times and you do your pre-tournament research online, you're scouting, you get your map, you drop your waypoints, your pins, places you want to check out, you go there, and then you do it repeat so many times, then you realize like in Florida, okay, the first time I went there, I'm hiking out of a creek because I got trapped because I went over so much hyacinth one direction thinking it was going to clear up, and it never did, and I knew I could never get back, and I couldn't get downstream. I was stuck. I hiked out of the woods of the swamp, and anyway, I called Chad. It was a KBF event. I said, hey man, I'm hiking out, I'm safe, everything's fine, but I cannot get back either direction. But now that I've done that and I go back to the satellite imagery, I know what hyacinth looks like on the satellite imagery now, because it looked like lily pads or some sort of, you don't know what vegetation. So my point is, you've fished enough, and now that you've done that, I'm not saying you don't want to practice. Trust me, I want to have practice, but I got 3 dogs, 2 kids, and a wife, and all of our stuff going on.
And you got to feed the dogs.
I would love to, absolutely, but I don't have time to, and I've put in enough time previously so I understand what I'm seeing, what I'm looking at, and I've done it repeat, where I have a pretty good idea what's going to go down, and I can figure it out even on tournament day, which happens even if you're there for 3-4 days of practice. Things change so much. You still have to just fish the moment on tournament day. So that's kind of the good news. Once you do it enough, you don't have to have as much maybe practice time on the water as you used to. But.
Yeah, that's a good segue into what I call the get good segment. So how does one get good at kayak fishing / kayak fishing tournaments? That's kind of the big thing. So let's really break it down. Like,
yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, let's do this in like 10-20 minutes. Yeah, how do you get good? Just real quick.
There's more to it, Drew. I was getting there before I was rudely interrupted by Paul. So let's just start out. Like we talked kind of like setups. Hey, you get out of the kayak. Somebody asked earlier, they were like, hey, what's a good price range on a kayak? If I can find this comment, it was like,
oh yeah, 7K, I saw that.
10K, 12K. Like what should I be investing? So if you start with the vessel, right? We've already talked about the industry was kind of trending in the wrong direction. Bailey's taking a page out of that book and he's saying, nope, we're going the other way. So simple can be better, right? There's less decisions to make on the water, then you're going to make better decisions. If you're always like, should I do this? Should I do that? Should I do that? You're going to be indecisive and you're going to make bad decisions. So, I mean, I think that's part of it. And then price point right here, it depends on what you want to go with. It really depends on the base kayak and the motor. But like, Bailey, what would be some advice maybe you could throw at these guys? You said at the top of the show, I'm going to tell them what not to do. So what would you not do when you get a kayak?
Don't feel like you need to go spend a lot of money to do well in a kayak. I think that's the biggest thing. Buy what you are proud of and is within your means. Don't go into debt in a plastic boat, please. Don't feel like you need all the craziness. You know, if you have the means to get a graph, whether or not you want live sonar, you don't need it. Whether or not you want a motor, you don't need it. It's great to have. I mean, that's speaking from a lazy guy. I love my motor, but if you have the means to buy it, go for it. But don't feel like you need to go and buy these $15,000 setups because you really do. I genuinely mean it. You do not have to have that. It's, you know, I tell the same thing with people that are asking about electronics. Like, how big of a screen do I need to get? Whatever's within your means. A 10 is a great size in a kayak.
10 is a banging setup.
Yeah.
That's what I run. It is a luxury.
In a 10-foot kayak, it's a lot of square footage.
Yeah, dude. The 93 SV is like, it is probably the highest value, knowing that you're getting Garmin durability. It's probably the highest value. 10 inches, like, holy yeah, dude. You can go bigger, but like the 10 is amazing.
Or you get a 4-inch screen, and like I had plenty of fun with the Striker 4. I think it's great.
That's what I was
running it
say.
on my Unlimited.
You can't do more per dollar than a Striker 4. You just can't.
Well, and the other thing too is like, you don't need to go drop $10K in 1 year on a setup. Like, if your goal is to have something like that, a lot of people, myself included, got to that point accruing it over multiple years. Where it's maybe this year you want to upgrade your motor. Maybe this year you want to upgrade lithium battery. The next year you want to upgrade a graph. And so don't feel like you need to rush all into it at once. You know, it can be as you go. Wait for the sales because they're going to happen.
Memorial Day.
Don't count out used equipment too. Like, some of my first graphs were great, and they were just hand-me-downs from a guy that was local that was selling his boat, you know, getting divorced. And so I got dirt cheap graphs. So it was like kind of worked out.
Was he selling it or his ex?
I don't know. I know I got it cheap, and that's all that matters.
Exactly.
The ex got it.
You want to know the answer to. I agree. And, you know, I think that's why, like, people ask, like, wow, man, new canoe is so expensive. I'm like, it is expensive if you buy it all at one time. But if you're interested in like that final setup, it's actually really not an expensive way to start, and you can build on it over time. And I would tell people too, like, people forget about Crescent, but like in a Crescent, you get an unbelievable paddle kayak that you can add a motor to. And as long as you're a decent paddler, you can be really happy for like $5,000 less than a lot of people. And they use the best plastic. It's the most durable plastic that you're going to get in a kayak. Like, that's guaranteed.
Very durable.
Yeah. And there's people are talking about I see like cooperating with Grace on here. He said, you know, should I get an RS-117 or a light tackle too? Dude, flip a coin. But like the RS-117 is a unbelievable value at $1,000. It is wild what you're getting. Like, it's wild. I just made a video on this. The only thing you're missing is like a legit front hatch, which honestly I don't even use anymore except to stash a battery. So like, I actually kind of prefer these days the little mesh top. That is a crazy value. And I've had the LT2 and I've rigged it out. And you know what I stopped doing? Taking all the stuff. I paddled that thing because it flies. That thing hustles on a paddle. And it's a great kayak. It's super good. Like you can't miss with either of those.
I was a little offended to this comment though, man. I mean, come on, he's watched my videos, he's watched your videos, and then not a Shoaly, not a Shoaly, Smalley, RS 117 light tackle. It's like,
what are we doing,
man? Hey, well, the RS 117.
Those are both good choices for sure.
It's $800 cheaper than a Shoaly. As much as I love the Shoaly, it's $800 cheaper off the bat. So like,
that's right.
It's not that I tell everybody if you want a paddle kayak, it's Shoaly RVR. Pick your favorite color. Like they're phenomenal. And the LT2. If you want a longer kayak, there's not a better deal for a longer kayak. Like it is the best deal to get the most length.
$1,200, $1,100.
Yeah. So I'm
going to show something because this goes along here. I'm going to show a video. This right here, guys, is just a paddle, and this is in a tournament. I won Lake Dardanelle. I went up a creek. This right here, a little fish gets off, and a big fish destroys it. Right?
Oh my Lord!
And that was the big bass, and I won over tiebreaker over Eric Siddiqui. So, and I horse her out. But my point is, can you guys still hear me talking while this video is going?
Yeah.
All right, cool. My point is, anyone in the comments, like what Bailey just said, like take your time, build up to it, and only fish the tournament.
I can't hear you anymore, Drew.
What?
I want to mute that video.
Gigantic fishes.
Yeah, I'm muted. But anyway, if you can hear me now. My point is, like, build up slowly. You don't need a bunch. You can fish the tournaments, like Bailey said, that are in the spring or the time of the year where they're really on the banks. So maybe later in the year, you don't fish as many or whatever. There's still shallow fish, of course, but you can kind of build yourself up to save some money to get those electronics and a bigger, better boat or whatever. You can still catch fish and win tournaments just with this, especially certain times of year, like we talked about earlier. So,
and there's nothing wrong with fishing a catch event or one where you're going to get to fish the river because that's legal water, right? And that's like, or you can fish little ponds where you're going to be just fine and you have access with your paddle, right? I mean, and I'll be honest, I think I made this point really early on, really at the end of last year. I think like to the Bailey's point, what we've been talking about, I think pedal kayaks are actually going to be on a come up. I think, yes, pedal drives are expensive. They're anywhere from $800 to $1,100, depending on what kind, but like total package, you don't need a single thing. If you have fishing rods and baits, you can take it from the store and you can go catch fish and hustle around the lake, like hustle. Yep. So don't discount a used pedal kayak. An Old Town drive will never break. It's never going to break. And then even the prop drive, the propel drive from like Native, it's not going to break. Like there's no used one that's going to be a problem. Like go get one of those. You're going to be just fine.
I mean, more importantly too, it's extremely serviceable because it just uses bike parts. So
bro,
you can fix it with ease. But yeah, all good points. So yeah, start with what's within your means. Don't go crazy. You don't have to buy the tournament rig all up front. Like tournament anglers are going to do that. The ones that are in the money, they're winning. Like, of course, they're going to go buy a 15, 20K kayak. It's an investment in their job for the year. Same with bass boats. And a lot of those guys, they get that boat for a year, they get rid of it. Their sponsors pay for it. They didn't do anything. So like that's how that works. But for us normal folks, us average anglers, then let's just stick within our means. Let's get what we can, build it up over time. I love that concept. So we go from the rig to actually fishing. So Bailey, you're in tournament prep mode right now. If somebody wanted to do a tournament, what kind of planning should they be getting into?
I think there's a couple of different ways to approach it. And obviously it's very open-ended in regards to, depends on where you're fishing and what time of year, all that jazz. That changes if not all of the variables. I would think the first thing you got to look for is just look at where you're going to launch out of, first and foremost, and, base that on weather and wind. Obviously we have to factor that part into that. I think there's some people too that I've noticed and have made the mistake in the past locally of like, they look at the wind for launch and don't look at the wind for coming back
on the return.
So like
miss check-in. Oh no.
Yeah. Look at your weather. Obviously we have to take that into heavy account, depending where you're at. But obviously look at where you're going to launch, look at that area, we have on here one of the greatest Google Maps studiers of all time. With Drew here.
I dream in it, dude. I love it.
So yeah, it's like he lives and breathes it. So that's a huge one. Between that and like I use my One Boat Network app, which is Lake Master. So mapping that's huge. Between those two, if you can't practice, those are the two biggest things from a strategy standpoint of using that to put into equation of what do you think is going to give you the best bet to catch fish at that time? What time of year is it? Is it spring? Look for spawning flats, things of that nature. Though it all comes down to an equation, and then at the end of the day, it's fishing. It's you against a living organism, and it's just if they want to eat or not. And that's the fun part is
talk about kids or fish.
Sucks. If you don't catch them, it is what it is.
Yeah.
But like when you do show up and you do catch them, that feeling is incredible. And to your original question here before of the get good of like the getting better at tournaments, they're going to hate this answer, but it's time and repetition. That is the only way to get better at anything that you do is time and repetition. Because as more things go, you're going to start realizing, especially if you look back and analyze your tournaments, it comes down to timing and the decisions that you make. And you can only get better at that by fishing more tournaments. One thing you can do that I've done in the past is I will take my fun fishing days. Like if you can't just go and hop at a bunch of tournaments, you don't want to waste money, I pretend my days are tournaments. And I'll get buddies that are free that day to fish too. And it's like, all right, we're going to start at 8. We're going to fish at 3, best 5 fish. Let's treat this like a tournament. And then at the end of the day, let's come back together and talk through our day. Look at what we did well, what didn't work, and then try to evaluate why. And when you can do that kind of stuff, that's when you start leaps and bounds because you made a mistake. Then the next tournament you fish, you're leading into something, you're not getting bites, light bulb clicks. You're like, oh, I remember that. This decision I did wrong. Try something different. And when it works, you feel like Superman when it does work. But it's a simple answer, though. It's just fish as many. Don't fish as maybe fish as many tournaments isn't the great answer. It's put yourself in a tournament mindset as often as you can.
Yeah.
We talked about that last week.
Great.
Yeah,
that's a good point.
Like, finding a way to like what does a runner do? Every single time you're running, you're either training or you're training to actually do the race. So like I'm running over distance so that I'm overtrained, so that I'm ready for race day, right? I'm running slow so I can build my cardio so that when the race day comes, I've got the cardio and I'm ready to go. Like that's what you do for sports. That's what you do for weight training. That's what you do for all your other hobbies that are skill-based. Like you're literally just doing the thing. And we talked a lot about trying to not make it all new. And that's what you're doing when you're going on tournament day. Like, I'm not going to eat something new. I'm not going to bring anything different because like I've done this.
I'm going to wear my lucky underwear from KAS.
That I might do. Everything else, probably the same. Or maybe I'm wearing my lucky underwear every time I go fishing.
Wearing it right now. Lucky podcast underwear.
I guess what does it say on here? It actually says something for you. Hang on,
not again.
No, it says right here. It says that right there, that little text on it. It says never wash after 90 plus inches. And on the other side, it says something about what does it say there?
Under 80
wash
inches.
Or throw away. Wash or throw away if you're under 80.
You're the only tournament trail I know of that promotes dirty underwear.
Yep, that's right. So
you think it'd be more commonplace.
I'm saying if you're winning, you got to keep it rolling. You don't watch it 90 inches. But to the point what Bailey said and what you guys are saying, another thing too is you just look at see what tournaments, what's won in each lake. You know what I mean? Like what the length is, the limit or the weight. You can kind of convert those to length. Know what a good weight or length is for that lake. So when you go out, you can kind of see, or if there's a tournament that day, an actual tournament on that body of water, you can go see their results based, with yours. So it's pretty important to do that. I'll share one quick cool story example about the repetition thing that Bailey said. So I was fishing Greg DePalma, Bassmaster Elite Pro. He fished a few events that one season, remember, or several events on the Bassmaster Kayak Series. And we both launched from the same ramp in La Crosse. And I was beating him to a spot because I had like some speed, right, with my motor. And he had less because he was like an Old Town, whatever, the one that comes with the motor. And I had the Torpedo. So I stopped at like this, like my really prime spot, like my juice, like where I really wanted to fish. I was like, all right, it's just a little bit of ways ahead. I'm going to stop here. I'm going to fish my way up to it after lines and fish my way right up to it. Well, he comes all the way up, and I was like, man, I keep looking back. He's getting closer and closer. I'm like, oh, he's coming, dude. He found the exact same thing I did. And he comes up to me and he says, we talk, and I was like, hey, man, it was where you going? What you doing? And he was like, yeah, I'm just gonna cruise like right up here. He goes, dude, do what you gotta do. Do what you gotta do. I'm just going like right here. Well, he said he went like right up there exactly. He stopped exactly where I wanted to get to him, and like I'll be there like 5-10 minutes of fishing. Exactly. And so so there's still time before line's in. So I go up to him because he said, do what you got to do. And we talked about this and laugh at him. And that's one of the best things you can say in the water, because you're kind of putting it on the other person. He went up there and said, okay. He said, do what I got to do. So I went back up there and I was like, yeah, I mean, I was going to start right here. So I'm going to go ahead and just move right up here just a little bit past you. And you guys, you can have right there where you stop, which was the exact spot that was the juiciest of all the juice. And here's my lesson. Here's the point. The repetition is, dude, don't ever go to your juice first. Absolutely 100% first right off the bat. And I don't know if it cost me fish or not, but we both had a good tournament. I finished like 7th. He finished 6th. So I guess it did. He beat me by 1 spot. But my point is, I learned something. Every single time you go out, you learn something, and repetition, like Bailey's saying, is key. And you would never have learned that. From now on, I think back to that one experience, and I don't go to my juiciest juice first, because here's why. Somebody else could be hitting it, A, or B. If I hit it, you can let it rest and go back to it. So why in the world wait? If it's your juiciest of juice, go get them. 5 fish in the morning counts as much as it does later in the day. So anyway, that was a cool story about repetition and why it matters in tournaments, and predicting where like in the Bassmaster Kayak Series Championship, all my research, I'm trying to figure out where the majority of the field is going to be, so I can go somewhere different, because my style, and that's the last thing I'll say, I'm going to peace out, but my style is to obviously get in the backwaters and fish without other people around. I want to be kind of isolated, alone. I don't want to fight crowds. You need everyone listening to this show. Bailey has a style. It's completely different than mine usually, which is awesome, because we don't ever like see each other in the water or bump heads anywhere. Never. But find out who you are and your style. If you are this shallow visual water target person, awesome. Build your whole setup around that. And then if you're this good with electronics and offshore, and you like finding the secret stuff, these little spots out there, hidden gems in the middle of the lake, dude, make everything around that, and then you'll be more successful at tournament fishing. Never deviate from it. Don't try to be something else. You can't catch other people's fish. It's really hard. So anyway, but
that's a good point.
Yeah,
you can't catch other people's fish.
You can't. People try to tell me where Bailey could tell me where these offshore fish is, and I just wouldn't be able to like figure it out.
Right.
I wouldn't.
Not your thing.
I wouldn't. I've tried before. People say, "Oh, this is happening." That I'm like, nope. And I try to tell them where my fish are, and they try to go there, and they can't catch them. They can't figure it out.
Yeah.
So anyway, but I'm gonna peace out. Let you guys finish up whatever happens next. But I appreciate Bailey big time. I can't wait to see you, buddy, and hopefully we'll have a good event and see you on the classic stage. Hopefully.
Hope you catch them. Just don't catch them that good, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Catch him all right.
I'll be there. Yeah. I'll be on stage. He's
gonna have his lucky
in
underwear.
My dirty
I'll be
underwear.
Wearing these. I'll be wearing these. So let me know if you need to bring you a pair. I got brand new ones here. Haven't used them. Brand new.
These are all 80 and under. These are all 80 and under. All 80 and under.
Brand new.
He's writing in. He's writing.
If you don't have a good day one, come see me. If you don't have a good day one, see me, Bailey. Come see me. Hit me up.
Put the tournament label on it and the inches you got, like on every pair of underwear.
Gosh.
Yeah.
It's an idea. All right. Love you guys.
Appreciate
see you. Thanks
Drew.
for your time, everybody. Thanks, Bailey.
We'll see you, buddy. We're gonna hold Bailey hostage a little bit longer. You gotta close that laptop, man. Forward facing center. I got him. Zing. Perfect timing. All right. Well, I got a couple more questions I think could help people out. So we'll wrap up with a few more. But I think a big one that I'm interested in for anybody that we talk to on the show is going to be sort of like your key unlock moment, or what I would call like your aha moment. So think of like a time when you just figured it out, like something just boom, light bulb. I think it came up a few times on the episode actually already today. But what was like a light bulb moment for you in your tournament journey? 200 tournaments. At some point along the way, you're like, I got it. I've found my groove. This is my thing, and I'm good at this now. What would you say that was for you?
Honestly, it's when you hear people talk about tournaments, especially you hear it on the pro stage of like all tournament fishing is between the ears, and that is so true. And the two biggest things that helped me in regards to making decisions, which that's 90% of your tournament, was one. The only thing people remember is who won. Don't care about sucking and failing, because I mean, I've always been. That was a hard hump to get over for me, being an athlete my whole life, and like always expecting like the best. And so once you can get over the fact of like, I accept the decisions that I make because my decisions is what I thought was to win, and you're content with not winning, that helps you so much, because it takes less weight off your shoulders in making decisions, and you can become more fluid that way, where it's like, this isn't happening. I haven't fished over there at all. It's brand new water, but that looks good. And it helps you make that decision and go. And I can't tell you how many times fishing brand new water I've never touched has crushed for me in a tournament. So don't be afraid to fail. It's honestly, it's necessary in tournament fishing. If you want to get better, you're going to suck. And just literally the cliche saying, embrace the suck. Like, that's when you learn the best. That's when you adapt the most. And then the last thing is, in these big fields, like 200 plus anglers, it's hard sometimes to not let it get in your head of seeing certain anglers catch fish, things like that. But you need to remember that it's you against a fish. It is not me against that angler. We're not going head to head. Unless she's fishing a spot that I want to fish, at the end of the day, it's you're not competing against the anglers. And once you change that mindset, it's just you fishing and you against the fish. You start to focus on what really matters, not what Joe Schmo 300 yards away is doing. Because when you start worrying about that, you distract yourself and you're not fishing efficiently. So when you can focus on that, one, you'll be less stress-free. You'll stop worrying about what other people are doing. And it just kind of helps you build more confidence in that side of things. But there was I'll give you a story, I guess, for a moment in my career that something clicked for me was when the tournament I won on Lake Eufaula, the Hobie BOS on Lake Eufaula. And I'd been in a tournament before where Lake Eufaula, we got this massive thunderstorm that basically turned the entire lake into mud, like 2 inches of visibility. And
that's
before, what I had done was trying to go to areas that I knew were good and just try to force a bite and figure out a way to get them to eat in dirty water. But this time, instead, I went and drove the entirety of the lake just looking for somewhat clear water, because the cleaner the water, likely the more I'm going to get bit. And on the last day, I finally drove around and found this one creek arm. I was looking for creek arms that didn't have creeks draining into it and that were pointed north, because with the current flow going south, if they're pointed north, less likely to get dirty. And the last one I checked was clear. It had hyacinths and bait popping everywhere. And like my first cast was a 5.5 pounder, and I left and ended up winning the tournament on that. I'm like,
heck yeah,
we're good. And that comes back again to repetition, like time. You have just learning from mistakes, and that only happens from fishing more and more events.
That's awesome. That's really good advice. And also, I think that folks, even if you haven't done a tournament, you've experienced this. Every time I fish with Paul, I experience this, and I know he does too. It's like you go fishing with your buddies, you just want to like outfish them. Like, why wouldn't you? Like, obviously, every time I go out with Paul, I want to leave him in my dust, and I want to catch way more fish than him and way bigger fish than him. No like, what up? I'm better than you. Like it's friendly, but it's like everybody does this. And I always find that when I get stressed out, like if he catches a few fish before I catch any fish, and I'm like, oh no, he's gonna outfish me today. Then you just make it worse, right? Like then you start overthinking every decision you make, and you're just like, man, he's throwing a jig. Should I throw a jig? Like it looks like he's throwing black and blue. Should I throw black and blue? No, you should throw what you wanted to throw in the first place. Like stick to the plan. Just don't worry about it. Even if he catches 5 fish before you catch 1, you could always catch up, man. Like he might shut down at that point. You never know. And this happens to us literally every time we go out. It's one or the other person. We always end up joking about it. But I know the message that Bailey's given you guys is great. It's also really hard to like embrace that, to say like,
it's easy to say. It's much harder to do.
It's so hard. Like I'm 38 years old and I have a hard time losing. Like it doesn't go away. You just have to commit. You have to be conscious of it. You have to, attempt to overcome that challenge. And that's kind of how it is, man. But time on the water will help you do that. The more often you get out there and do that.
I have a 24-hour rule when it comes to bad tournaments. You can be pissed for 24 hours afterwards, suck it up, and then start analyzing it. When you can, but you said it, like embracing it is a lot easier said than done. But once you can forcing yourself to do it, it becomes easier over time. You don't become content, I guess, with losing. Like you're not, shucks, we lost today. There goes $200 entry fee. Like, it's like you don't become that way. It's you're still pissed about it, but like, it just becomes easier to swallow.
No, 100%. It's a practice. It's an art. It's something that you have to just put some time into, some energy and effort into, and eventually you'll get better at it. Nobody's perfect at it, but it's certainly something that you have to be conscious of. Just be aware of that. And like when Paul and I have a rough day, we're out fishing, again, not in a tournament setting, just fun fishing. We'll generally like catch each other doing that. You're like, hey man, you're kind of spiraling, ready for a snacky poo? Like you just pull over, eat a snack, everybody relax, the sun's out, photosynthesize, do what you got to do, feel better, get back after it. And then like we always end up perking up after that and feeling fine. So
sports,
that's
great. I relate it back to sports though. Like you talked about like not watching the other anglers, not watching the leaderboard when it's on your phone, and that sort of thing. And what I tell, like, because I coach my kids and coach high school rugby and all that kind of stuff. And I always tell people, like, you'll see people watching people they play with. You'll see people watching the crowd during a game, and you'll see people getting annoyed by people heckling them, and you make a mistake, and especially in basketball, because like everyone's right on top of you.
Rolls.
And that will spiral you. That will make you horrific. Because what are you thinking about? You're not thinking about the next play. You're not thinking about what your defender is doing. You're not even looking at what you should be looking at. You're watching people watching you. And how good are you going to play? You play horribly. That is a guarantee. Like, I'm going to pull you out at that point because you're not even actually playing the game. You're competing against your ego, like somebody just said in here, and you're competing against like the crowd, which is crazy, right? And I think that is all really easy to say. It's all good advice. You would tell yourself that before you would go into a tournament. You'd be like, hey man, just stay loose, like focus on fishing, don't worry about anybody. That's exactly what you would tell yourself. Doing it in a tournament when you're dealing with stress, you're dealing with anxiety, you want to do well, you have your goals, like to your point, it's much harder to do on the day. And that's why that's why we want to do this show, because I think a lot of people don't want to feel like they've wasted an entry fee, wasted a trip to, if you're going to Tallahassee, you don't want to waste the gas and all that kind of stuff. And one of the things we talk about is set your expectations. Your expectations should be do what you know best. And if you've done those things, you're going to be as successful as you're going to be. And you're going to learn from it, treating it as a learning experience. And then go have fun with the other anglers, learn a couple things. And especially for your first couple tournaments, I think that should be your goal. Like your goal should not be to like walk away with a check. Your goal should be to walk away knowing that you ran your process, that you had fun for sure, and that you met some people that you actually enjoyed being around, and like make sure that you're actually enjoying what you're doing.
You said something cool there that brought up a memory of an advice that I was given when I had started tournament fishing, and I was sitting there pissed off, half joking at a terrible tournament. And I'm like, damn, what a waste of time, waste of entry fee. And one of my mentors said to me on the phone, was like, it's only a waste of time if you let yourself waste it. And that's a perspective thing. Like, did it suck? Was that miserable? Yes, but it's not a waste of my time if I don't waste it. And
it's a data point.
Yeah. There's always some information to be gleaned from that. I feel like that's true about most things, right? Like you could apply that to family time. You could apply it to travel. Paul, you remember going to Calgary and being trapped in Calgary? That could have ruined that whole trip for us. But we were like, this sucks. It is what it is. There's nothing you can do about it. Like, just get through it, go, continue on with your journey, and it'll be fine. And then we ended up having like a great story out of it, had an amazing trip out of it. Like, everything can potentially turn around. So it applies to a lot of things in life. So I think that's really good advice. We should probably end the show there, but we don't do that here. What we do is we do slow rolling thunder, and that is how we tap out for the show. So let's have some fun with this. This is Slow Rolling Thunder Tournament Edition as we approach the 90-minute mark here. In the first one, I think maybe depending on how well these go, Paul, I think these become like staple slow rolling questions.
I got you.
But first one, Bailey, and you're the guest, so you got to go with it. But what is the most embarrassing tournament moment that you've had? So let your imagination run with this however you want. But what was like a situation that occurred to you that you would say is fairly embarrassing in a tournament setting?
Sinking my Hobie in the middle of the lake.
Was this the motor pumping water into the hull? Is that situation? How did you sink it?
So there's two situations because I did it twice.
Oh, great. Reoccurring nightmare. Awesome.
One's a little bit less worse than the other, but I used to be in PA-12s, and the PA-12s used to have issues with the hull cracking where the 360 drive met.
Mm-hmm.
And I did that and did not realize it was happening till I'm a mile from shore and I'm fishing an offshore rock pile. And next thing I know, I just go like this and I hear the whoosh. And I'm just like pedaling my butt off to get to shore. And thankfully, I had like my buddy was on the way to shore and like followed me there to make sure I made it. But like my Hobie was water level by the time I made it out and had to drain it. And then from there, I had to pedal a mile and beat the kayak filling up again to get to the ramp to get it out.
No. Oh my gosh.
So that happened in a tournament.
Jack Sparrow rolling into the dock.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. And then I am one of the dumbest people you'll ever meet when it comes to like, I have a goldfish memory, dude. Like I'm just it's so bad. I can't tell you how many times like when my Hobie will leak water where I'll drain it. I'll take the plugs out and drain it and not put the plugs back in.
Yeah.
I've done
and
it
the plugs on the Hobie.
times.
That's the worst kayak to do it with.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so day one, Kissimmee Chain this year in that Florida trip, the night before, I was going through all my steps, everything, and I drained my kayak the night before. I'm like, we're fresh, we're good, everything's charged, rigged. Yeah. I launched my kayak. We ended up getting there really early, and thankfully did because there was like 30 people at a ramp by the time we got there. We were an hour and a half before we even launched.
Oh my gosh.
And I put my kayak in, get up on the bank. I'm talking with a bunch of buddies that I haven't seen in a while. The kayak's been in the water for like 45 minutes. And I go to walk in my kayak and I'm looking at my buddy Jake Kukulis, and I was like, does my kayak look tilted to you? And I'm like, screw it. And so I hop in, and as soon as I step in the one side, the whole gunnel goes underwater.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh no, this thing's so full.
I saw this
again.
Video. You posted this video.
I did. Yeah. And thankfully I had to have 3 people help me drag it up because it was so full of water. And I ended up drowning a lithium battery in the process, drained it out. And I'm like, Jake, is there water coming out? He goes, yeah, you're going to have water coming out for a while. And
oh gosh.
Yeah. I had it out and I had to launch like 30 minutes early, motor to where I wanted to start. And the guy, Wyatt Hammond, was on the fish that I wanted to get to by the time of that. And he got second.
He would be.
So it was like, it just screwed me over. That kayak. Yeah, I screwed myself over is what I did. But I've done that probably 10 times now. You think I would learn, but
you just put a sticker at the front, like
check your plugs.
Yes, like where the rod holders are. Like just put a sticker there that says check the plugs.
With stuff like that, because I have stuff like that too, it wouldn't work. Yeah. It would work once, and then I would.
You would look at the decal sticker, and you'd be like, what is that for?
Let's go fishing. And I'd be like, no. 100%. Dude, I've done the dumbest stuff too. Like we had Jeff and I were in like a team tournament, and it was one of the KS ones. No, it was one of the, what was the other one? Down in Gunnersville.
We only did one team KS event. So
no, what was the one down in Gunnersville? That wasn't a team where we each had an individual team.
No, it was Knucklehead Bass.
That was Knucklehead. Yeah. So we were submitting fish. And I don't know why, but like I could not figure out why none of my fish were counting. I was like, dude, I'm submitting all these fish. And I expected to see them all in the queue, like in my fish queue. So I could see like what was calling and what wasn't. And I expected to see them all. And I just hadn't practiced with that app at the time. And I was getting pissed because I kept submitting fish. I'm like, dude, where are these fish? Like, I don't know what I've got, what I don't have in here. And it was doing what it's supposed to, which is only show the ones that were like above limit and the ones that were like that I was going to call. And I was literally like texting Chad, like, what's going on, bro? I can't. And he's like, I don't know, man. Like, the app was like, perfectly fine. I just didn't know how the app worked. And I was like, oh, so I'm an idiot. Now I understand. That makes way more sense. Like, dude, like I guess all that to say, there's nothing that's off limits. Everyone's going to do dumb stuff. And you talked about the community. 80% of the people have probably done exactly what you did at least one time. Guaranteed.
Yep.
Yeah. That same tournament, I broke my 360 drive. It was
we
the drive.
we
it was the
jammed
drive
enough
belt.
duct tape to lock it forward so that we could.
So two things happened. One, the clutch broke.
That's
and
right.
two, the steering tube, whatever the belt,
With
the
the-
belt snapped.
Yes.
So when the belt got stuck, which happens kind of commonly with those, unfortunately, this was not the XR. This is pre-XR.
Yeah.
But like that belt gets stuck, and then if you try to turn, if you manhandle it, the belt will snap. So my belt snapped, and then the chuck on the bottom was just free
Slipping.
like the 360 was 1080ing, right? So it just kept spinning and spinning. So I was going in circles, like stuck in circles. I couldn't
Not an
get
ambi
to
turner.
shore.
Just
Couldn't get to shore. I was cocky with my Hobie at that point. I didn't have a paddle with me, so I was like, somebody take me to shore. Luckily it was like a 4-person team, 5-person team. That one was, Paul.
It was 5 total. We had 4 each.
And we had both of our teams there. So we had like 8-10 people there. So there was enough people to help. But yeah, we had to take it back. I had to get somebody with Gorilla Tape. We taped it all up so that the drive wouldn't turn at all. It was stuck straight. And then I was just rudder steering. And it was the worst. But we still had a fun tournament. So whatever. It sucked. All right. So some people have been asking in chat. So as we wrap up here, I do want to give you a chance here before we take off. Bailey, if you want to call anything out, where can people find you? What are your socials? If they aren't following you right now, they definitely should be. But your podcast, your socials, and what do you got coming up? Let's hit that.
Yeah, if there's a social media platform that exists like you guys, I'm on it. So you can just search me by the name. Be the Fish on YouTube, obviously Serious Angler podcast. And coming up, I just got the Bassmaster Championship next week. Looking forward to that. And I'm fishing the entire series this year, including California, which I'm pretty hyped about.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
Yeah, other than that, I'll save it for a later date. But I got some pretty big stuff coming up at the end of the year. Some potentially really big stuff coming up at the end of the year. So
okay,
let's go.
Tease it with that. But
all right, so people should be listening to the podcast. Seriously,
there's some subtle hints that's within my social media the past few days that people could pick up on if they get between the lines. But
if they're
I would love to announce it right now. My wife would kill me. So I can't.
All right. Wait, does Drew want to say goodbye? Hello, Drew. We're still live. Do you want to say bye to everybody as we take off? Did you mean to pop back in?
My grandfather right now.
He didn't mean to pop in.
He didn't shut off his browser, so when he opened it back up, it logged him back in.
Oh my God.
It's all good. We're gonna take off at this point. We'll see what Drew wants. But he's back, but he's muted.
On mute.
This is what happens when you're technologically challenged. Still can't hear you,
Drew.
Sign off. Unplug them.
I'll see you in a minute, Drew. All right, you guys, thank you so much for watching this episode of the Kayak Adventure Series and AAA podcast. We will be back again in 2 weeks with this type of show with more guests and our regular show on Aggressively Average Anglers. Will be back next week. So we'd love to see you guys there. And obviously go follow Bailey wherever you can find him and check out Serious Angler Podcast. And then you should definitely check out the Kayak Adventure Series. The Tallahassee event is coming up real fast, like in a couple of weeks. It's the end of March. So if you get a chance, register for that. Otherwise, there will be a bunch of other events. There's 6 total this year, all around the country. So chances are there's going to be something in your neck of the woods. Thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight. Well, let's take off. Chaz,